Everyone, I'm Brian Allen.
Good evening, I'm Kara Setzer. Some holiday traditions are not always adaptable to those with physical disabilities, but going the extra mile to include everyone makes for some special memories.
Tonight, Parker Brown tells us how Santa did just that. It is our top story here tonight. Hello, Parker.
Hey, Brian and Kara. Of all the appearances Santa will make before his trip around the world on Christmas Eve, this was unique. It meant everything to kids who are deaf or hard of hearing because no translator was needed. Kids who are deaf or hard of hearing experience the world and the holiday season differently. South Dakota Services for the Deaf outreach consultant Katie Jensen was born deaf, but didn't grow up signing. She's happy to see more access to Christmas events that she didn't have back then, and excited for what it can do to build them up.
So SDSD and South Dakota Drop, we love hosting events because maybe the kid is the only kid at their school that is deaf or hard of hearing. So they're able to come here and see kids that are the same and make different connections with these kids.
In the second year doing the event, staff say it's about more than taking pictures with Santa, doing crafts, sharing a meal, or having story time.
Christmas is coming soon.
It's about making the joy of the holidays accessible and letting them know that they're not alone. The kids love it.
Oh gosh, there's a list of favorite things. When I could see the kids' eyes light up when they see me signing and they just can't hardly believe it. And also the kids would come up and sit on my lap and we would get to take a lot of different pictures, and then I would notice that the kids would come up to me again and again and again just to talk with me.
It's hard to put into words what it means for these kids to interact with Santa for the first time in their native language, and even included in reindeer games. It's why they have a signing Santa in the first place.
You know, most of the time Santas just speak, but coming here, they realize Santa can communicate with anyone, and that's why it's so magical, you know, to have that joy, that belief of Christmas.
Now, if you're interested in learning more about other events or even getting involved with SDSD or South Dakota Drop, you can find links on this story at dakotanewsnow.com. Brian and Kara.